From BVTV studios on the campus of Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, this is BVTV News.
Boy, it feels nice to be back at this desk again. Welcome to BVTV News. I'm Guy Tannenbaum. As the presidential election cycle begins to ramp up, Northwest Iowa has become a hotspot for Democratic presidential hopefuls as they vie to be the challenger to President Trump come November 2020. On Saturday, March 30th, Buena Vista played host to 5 Democratic presidential candidates and scores of national media as the Heartland Forum was held in Shaler Chapel. The event was put on by HuffPost, Open Markets Action, the Storm Lake Times, and the Iowa Farmers Union, and allowed the candidates to answer questions on a variety of topics from Pulitzer Prize-winning editor of the Storm Lake Times, Art Cullen, and selected audience members. Democrats in attendance included former United States Housing Secretary Julian Castro, John Delaney, former congressman from Maryland, current Senators Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, and Ohio Representative Tim Ryan, who was not officially a candidate at the time of the forum but has since thrown his hat into the ring. According to the Iowa Farmers Union, the goal of the event was to talk about issues that matter to rural voters, especially those in Northwest Iowa. All of the candidates referenced their belief that Americans should continue to invest in rural America and provided their vision of a country that works for all. Other common themes included the impact of immigration on rural communities, access to mental health care, gun safety, foreign ownership of farmland, restructuring the public education system, and antitrust standpoints.
The scale of the event was not lost on BVU students and faculty. Brooke Stevens, a political science major, was excited about the opportunity to see national politicians on campus.
It's great. It's phenomenal. I'm really glad that a small university like Buena Vista could hold an event like this, and it'll be really interesting to see. Especially for me as a student, I'm a political science major, so this will be a real great event to just see, political party aside.
Dr. Bradley Best, professor of political science at BVU, expects Democrats to continue to come to the area leading up to next year's Iowa caucuses.
For people who are interested in politics and interested in nomination politics, this is the place to be, and the pace of the activity is only going to increase between now and February 3rd.
Former Democratic congressional candidate in Iowa's 4th District, J.D. Scholten, was also in attendance after participating in a rally in support of a Farmers' Bill of Rights put on by Family Farm Action earlier in the morning at Storm Lake High School.
If you can compete in a district like the 4th District, you can win the presidency, and so I'm trying to push for 2020 candidates to see how they can compete in something like this.
Candidates themselves also know the importance of winning over Iowa voters, as performing well in the early caucus states, Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada, can carry them to winning their party's nomination for the general election.
My campaign at the end of the day is a bet on the early states. I think the voters in these 2 early states really matter. I think they provide an incredibly important service to the American people because they actually have an opportunity to sit down with folks, figure out what's in their heart and what's in their head, and decide who the best leader of this country can be. And if you do well here early, everyone in the country is going to know who you are.
Just meet them where they are. They don't agree with everything you said, but you can get things done if you're willing to talk about things in an honest way, in ways that they can relate to. With that,
Was notably absent from the Heartland Forum made a stop in Storm Lake on Friday, April 5th. Beto O'Rourke, the former Texas congressman who narrowly lost his bid to unseat Senator Ted Cruz this past fall, spoke to a diverse crowd at the Better Day Cafe.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning. Buenos dias. So good to be here with you today.
In his trademark style, O'Rourke reiterated many similar sentiments about rural America as his fellow candidates who visited Storm Lake the week before did. Investing in rural communities, the environment and climate change, solving the student debt crisis, and reworking public education and health systems were just some of the themes in a speech that was jam-packed with policy ideas for a variety of different issues.
Making sure and that we find a way to create the high wage, high skill, high value jobs that we need in every part of America. The ability not only to work one job, which should be enough, but to work that one job where you live, where you grew up, so you can take care of yourself, your kids, but also your parents and your community. Making sure that rural communities are lifted up by listening to those same rural communities. The answers are here right now.
O'Rourke was asked about the importance of campaigning in Iowa's 4th District, as it's the only Republican-controlled congressional district in the state.
It's critically important. I don't know about anyone's prospects of winning over the district. I think what's critical is to listen to those who live within this district, and that's why we're here to find out in forums like these, but also informally, going to Delicias, going to some of the other shops here, talking to the folks who work at the hotel about what's most important to them. And maybe it'll surprise people in other parts of the country. Immigration and a positive story of immigration is being told in this community and in this district. And really that's the story of this country and our success, our strength, and our security, which flies in the face of the rhetoric that we need walls or that immigrants are a danger or a threat to this country. No, they're the foundation of our success.
Beto, I think, really understands the immigrant situation, and in Storm Lake we have a lot of working immigrants who have children who need to be educated.
Immigration was, of course, a major focus of his time in Storm Lake, one of the most diverse cities in all of Iowa, even taking and answering a question from a woman completely in Spanish. O'Rourke told many personal stories about himself, his home of El Paso, Texas, and his family, comparing them to similar stories heard in small towns all across the country. We turn from news to sports. Nick Hendricks is here to catch us up on what's been going on in the world of Beaver athletics.
With the season in full swing, the Beaver baseball team looks to solidify its place in the American Rivers Conference. Sitting in third right now at 5-4 in conference play, Buena Vista took 2 of 3 games from the Central College Dutch this past weekend. The Bats came alive in the 3-game series as junior Bryce Rowe hit 2 leadoff triples and senior Porter Sauter slugged 2 clutch doubles. Rowe leading the offensive charge for BV, hitting .392 with 4 triples, as senior outfielder Peyton Renning, who is hitting .354 with team-leading 21 RBIs. The Beavers take the road this weekend to face the first-place Cohawks of Coe College in Cedar Rapids. After a hot start to the year, the Buena Vista softball has hit a slide in conference play. The Beavers are now 0-8 in conference play after falling short twice to Nebraska Westland this past Tuesday. Sophomores have been leading the way offensively. Carly Guyette hitting .318, Brooke Linderman hitting .351, and Kate Lesmeister hitting .385 with a team-leading 5 home runs. Softball also traveling to Cedar Rapids to take on the Cohawks this weekend. In the last outdoor meet, Buena Vista Track and Field hosted and proceeded to show out. The men's team placed 3rd out of 7, while the women finished 2nd. In the women's 100-meter dash, Buena Vista sophomore Kylie Johnston finished 2nd with a time of 12:74. In the women's 4x100-meter relay, the team finished in 1st place. For the men, freshman Austin Larson placed 2nd place in the 110-meter hurdle with a time of 15.67 seconds. Alex Hirsch finished 3rd place in the 5,000-meter run with a time of 16 minutes, 32 and 87 seconds. And Carmen Kalston finished 4th with a time of 16:55.59. Track and field headed to Mustang Open in Cedar Rapids this Saturday. Buena Vista men's tennis also been in action, but still winless in conference play. John Foss has been having a terrific year, a 5-1 singles record, with his only loss at the hands of Brian Merman of Luther College. After 6 straight cancellations in March, the men's golf was finally able to play on April 5th and 6th in Waverly at the Wartburg Spring Invite. Both days, the Beavers finished 10th out of 14th with a total of .319 and .330. Leading men's golf this year is Ryan Rusek with an average of 71.1 and 8 rounds of conference. For the women, the past 2 matches against Central were also canceled early April, having not been out since October. It'll be interesting to see how the swing feels and the team performs. Coming off of their fall season, Raylan Arnold and Emily Kim are both averaging 85.3 of 8 rounds in conference. Both men and women's golf will be back in action this weekend.
Thanks, Nick. So far this spring season, it's been a busy one. I mean, we're almost halfway done. Have there been any Beavers selected to American Rivers Conference Player of the Week honors?
Actually, there has been. Senior outfielder Peyton Renning has been selected. He was selected back in early March when the team played Grinnell in a 4-game series.
Thanks, Nick. That's awesome. Good luck this weekend in Cedar Rapids taking on the Cohawks. Bring home a couple of wins for us. That'd be awesome. A criminal justice center complete with an interactive simulator will be created in Swope Hall this summer and should be open for use by the start of the 2019-2020 school year. Dr. Richard Reiner, assistant professor of criminology, has had the goal of bringing a hands-on criminal justice experience to BV for a while and hopes student retention rates will increase. This simulator allows students to experience high-stress situations similar to those law enforcement personnel face in the field every day, minus the danger. Once the simulator is completed, Buena Vista will be the only school in Iowa to have both a simulator and crime scene rooms. For the full story, written by TAC News editor Ella Wiebush, visit bvtac.com, the student news site of BVU. That's all for this edition of BVTV News. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.